Iran was one of the first countries to be hit by the pandemic outside China. Critics say early mistakes by the Iranian regime cost lives.
We saw them first deny it, then downplay it, and it came amid a series of other crises, a legitimacy crisis with the parliamentary elections, a legitimacy crisis with the population, particularly after the downing of the Ukrainian airliner.
As in many countries, Taleblu says it's the poor who are worst hit by the pandemic.
The challenge is that the health and welfare of its own people is not priority number one. And when you're facing a global pandemic, that means your citizens are going to bear the brunt of it.
The United States has accused Tehran of spreading disinformation about the COVID-19 outbreak, including false claims that the virus may have originated in the US.
Even during this pandemic, the Iranians using the Ayatollahs, the regime's resources, to foment terror across the world, even when the people of Iran are struggling so mightily, tells you a lot about the soul of those people who lead that country.
Tehran's foreign minister accused the United States of waging what he called medical terror against Iran through its ongoing sanctions program, and also claimed his country had made significant progress against the virus. The European Union has urged the United States to ease economic sanctions, which it says are preventing Tehran from accessing financial aid. Human Rights Watch says the sanctions prevent Iran from sourcing humanitarian supplies. Washington claims the sanctions do allow for the sale of medical equipment. Other critics argue Iran's high death rate was due to government inaction.
The Islamic Republic understands that once they're over the hump, that there will be an attempt by the street to push back against the state for the way this crisis was handled, for the longevity of the crisis, for the lack of transparency between the state and society. So I think the Islamic Republic is preparing itself for some kind of popular pushback. We've seen since 2017 a diminishing in the timelines between significant protests.
Amnesty International accuses the leadership of gross human rights abuses during the pandemic. It says 36 Iranian prisoners were killed last month after security forces opened fire following protests over COVID-19 safety fears in jails. Some 100,000 low-risk prisoners have been temporarily released during the pandemic, including dual British-Iranian citizen Nazanin Zaghari-Ratcliffe, who is serving a 5-year sentence for alleged espionage, which she denies. Human rights groups say the regime's oppression continues amid the pandemic, but the coronavirus outbreak could yet trigger further crises for the government. Henry Ridgwell for VOA News, London.